The following is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network. You're listening to Real Estate Radio Fresno on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 the FM KMJ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Craig Barton.
Good morning, California. I am your host, Craig Barton, and welcome to the Real Estate Radio Network, the most important hour of radio each week on News Talk 580 and 105.9 the FM KMJ. Real Estate Radio is a show dedicated to bringing some rational thought to the crazy world that we live in and helping you to rebuild the Central Valley's housing and credit markets. You know, within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted advice. And it's exactly what you are going to hear every Sunday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on News Talk 580, 105.9, the FM KMJ. You notice how I kind of paused there and said,
you had to have added more words today.
I did.
Welcome back.
My copywriter's here in the studio with us.
Crossing things out as he reads.
Michelle Pettis from Simon & Schuster, as we always say. She's here editing copy.
I just want to make sure it sounds good, Craig.
You do, because we have a couple more people listening this morning.
Yeah, welcome back to the AM.
Yeah, welcome back to the AM. Not to a little shout out to the News Talk 580
crowd.
Sunday morning crowd.
Mm-hmm. You now have 1,000,001.
Yeah, you know,
listeners.
1,000,001. Like, really?
You were 1,000,000 before. Now you got 1,000,001.
Yeah, I thought you were the one that had the million.
Oh,
I was the one that had the one.
Well, something like that.
All right.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's great to be here on a Sunday morning. I actually got to sleep in this morning.
Yeah, I'm wired.
Are you?
Lots of coffee. Had an extra couple hours for more coffee this morning.
Yeah, as opposed to a couple of weeks ago when you were a little underperked.
Hey, it was 7 a.m.
Yeah,
it was early.
You know, it's interesting because the CEO from the Real Estate Radio Network, we were talking this week on one of our conference calls, and he says, he says, tell the group about your first time slop. Well, it started
4 a.m. in the morning.
It was 4 a.m. in the morning, and he says,
moving on up.
Yeah, only the truckers were listening that early in the morning. And you know what? Truckers are at that time in the morning were some of our best listeners.
They were.
And honestly, I kid you not, the majority of the call-ins that we received were from truckers.
Well, they got nothing to do but sit and think. And
my name's Bob
plan
from
their
Larry,
roadmap.
And I'm driving south.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as always, it's so good to have my special host.
God, you make me sound like the yellow bus girl. The little yellow bus. I'm not that
I didn't
special.
mean it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, my special. Right. You are special to me.
All right.
How's
We're good
that?
friends. Okay.
All right. From here on out, I say special, you say okay, right?
All right.
My special guest host, Michelle Pettis, here in the studio. Michelle is a real estate professional. She is a realtor from Valleywide Homes, part of the Valleywide team here in the studio with us. As always, great to have you, kid. You know, the Real Estate Radio Network gives Michelle and I, and Johnny as well. We've got Johnny behind Mission Control, as always. Johnny continues to get up with us. What a steward of early morning radio.
Hey, we let him sleep in today.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that wasn't much of our doing, was it, Johnny? You know, the Real Estate Radio Network gives us the opportunity to reach so many people efficiently for one full hour each and every week. And that hour is getting better. I think our audience, we were told that our audience is going to increase by like 4 times, like 400%.
Really? We're up to 4 million? I thought it was only one more listener. Johnny.
You know, our goal with the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you
back home.
Well, on today's show, there's a report that shows that singles make up a quarter of all home buyers here in California. A lot of people are determining it's better to be single and own a home than make life all complicated.
You thinking that it's just because marriage is down or that home ownership is up? Which way is it causing the singles to purchase?
6 years, I'm sure the last 6 years had a huge impact on our marriage rate. You know, and also adjustable rate mortgages, applications are on the rise. How big an impact did Mr. Ben Bernanke's comments about 9 weeks ago have on your purchasing power? And should you even look at an adjustable rate mortgage as a potential option for financing your new home purchase? And also, it's interesting, and I hate to say it, but higher income student debt holders, they're looking to skip home ownership. These folks that are either underemployed, and most likely we see that they're underemployed if they've got a huge amount of student loan debt, they're staying at home with mom and dad because they've got so much student debt. And home builders are paying higher prices for construction-ready lots in many major markets. We know that the dirt starts moving when the hammers start swinging.
That's true.
Yeah, and the top 5 reasons why a buyer needs a realtor. And we're also going to take a look at the flip side of the coin, the top 5 reasons why a buyer stops using his realtor. We're also going to take some listener questions, and we hope that if there's something that we talk about that helps touch your life, great. If there's something that's going on in your life currently, give us a call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. We'd love to hear about what's going on in your life, and we'd love to cover it on the air as well. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions, it all starts with one call, and that's a call to us. That's a call from you to us, I should say. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go. And listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app that you can download at your app store, or listen to us online at KMJNow.com. You can also check out our resources. Go to our website. You can listen to past shows from the Real Estate Radio Network by going to our website at valleywidesells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valleywide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valleywide.
To call into the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. We'll hear us talk about Press 4. Press 4 is a nifty little app that you can download at your app store. It's for all those times that you're away from your computer and primarily behind your wheel, and you can't take time to pull over and take notes or text, like you shouldn't be texting, that we can. You download the app at your app store. It's Press 4. That's PRESS, the number 4.com. And you can download the app on your smartphone, and as soon as you start using the keywords that we share with you on our show, we'll start sharing timely information about your local real estate market as soon as you do. Well, let's take a look at today's hot property. Today's hot property is brought to you by Perfect Inspections. Whether it's residential, multifamily, or commercial, use Press 4 keywords, Perfect Home Inspections, or call Dale Devereaux today for your perfect home inspection at 352-6941. Again, that's 352-6941. Well, today's HUD home is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,452 square foot home.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's a large home.
It is. It is. Major cross streets for this property. Its address is 6937 East Princeton Avenue, Fresno, California, 93727, located on the southwest corner of Temperance and Shields in Fresno. So Clovis Unified, Clovis Schools. Property was appraised at $352,000 with an FHA appraisal. That appraisal was done with no minimum property repairs, meaning that the property needs no repairs in order for the property to qualify for FHA financing. Some of you might be asking at $352,000, is that above or below the current FHA loan limit or Federal Housing Administration loan limit in Fresno County?
Ooh.
It is below. Fresno County's loan limit.
383?
Fresno County's loan limit is $381,250. Every county in California has an FHA loan limit.
And it's not jumbo either.
That's
just over $100 a square foot.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's nice.
And practically brand new, built in 2009. If you'd like more information about today's hot property, please give us a call anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Or if you'd like Michelle to set up an appointment for you this afternoon to see this property, please give us a call. Again, 800-979-3958. Or use Press 4 keywords, KMJ Hot Property, and we'll send you more information about this hot property right to your phone. Look for more hot properties each week right here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Let's talk real quick. For those of our listeners that haven't been up at 7 a.m. in the morning, we talk quite often about HUD homes. And again, HUD homes are homes that are owned by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, that an asset manager, and an asset manager is the broad listing broker that's responsible for that geographic region, or as an example, state of California, for the management and marketing of HUD homes and the subsequent disposition or disposal, meaning selling those HUD homes. We work for, Valleywide Homes works for BLB Resources, which is an asset manager out of Irvine. And one of the important things that we're responsible for doing is called outreach. Coming up here, we have 2 outreaches this week. We have an outreach this coming Wednesday at C21 M&M in Clovis. It is for their agents. We also have a show, our next show, this next weekend, that we're here on the Real Estate Radio Network.
Next Sunday.
Is going to be geared towards how to successfully purchase a HUD home. And the message that I really want to make sure that I share is that if there are agents or brokers in the San Joaquin Valley that are interested in learning more about successfully buying and selling HUD homes, and you'd like us to come to your office and actually do a physical presentation in your office, please give us a call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. It does not cost a thing. And, you know, if you're really nice to us, we'll even bring refreshments.
Donuts? You're taking donuts to these things?
Donuts and juice, let me tell you. Well, top stories in the news, Fresno County, and we use Fresno County as somewhat of a barometer. Granted, every single market is unique in its own very special way, but listings continue to increase.
Woo-hoo!
We're about 50 units over what we were last week, and over the last 9 weeks.
I saw all 50 of them, too.
You did?
I think I did.
Actually, you showed all 50 of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did show all 50 of them.
Oh, my gosh. Represents roughly about almost 2.5 months of inventory in Fresno County.
It is so interesting to me when I'm out there showing properties how many traditional sales are actually flips.
Hey, 88% of all listings here in the county are traditional sales. Now, granted, it's difficult to say because those flips, those folks are, and let's for our listeners make sure that we detail, a flip is a property that's purchased either at the courthouse steps or maybe through probate, or maybe it's purchased retail. There was a lot of flippers here in town that were purchasing property at retail and then turning around, and because of the muscle behind the market, they were speculating that prices were going to continue to rise and that they'd be able to put a little TLC into it, a little carpet, a little paint.
Some of them are amazing.
Yes.
Honestly, I saw 2 at both ends of the spectrum. One done really, really well yesterday and one done not as well.
Yeah.
But honestly, many of them are like brand new homes when you walk through them.
Sure.
I mean, it is amazing to me what they are doing to these houses. And thank heavens for it. I mean, I laugh because of the volume of traditionals that end up being investor owned.
Right.
Because as an agent, when I think traditional, and as a consumer, I'm sure when I think traditional, I think mom and pop are selling their home, moving down because the kids are all grown up, that type of thing.
We're wanting to downsize.
Yeah, but we've got so many investors out there that are rebuilding these neighborhoods, and like I said, many of them look like brand new houses when they're done. It's amazing. It's gorgeous.
Well, let's take a listener question real quick. Sue from Fresno asked recently, I was pre-approved for an FHA loan of up to $200,000 up until about 2.5 months ago, and I'm reading into it. That Sue, about the time that Chairman Bernicke made those comments, then there was this increase in interest rates, and I was told that I could only qualify for $180,000,
and that's affected us.
That's affected us in a big way. Should I consider using an adjustable rate mortgage to help boost my buying power? Now, let's take a look at a couple things here real quick.
I'm like, wow, we're answering this?
Yeah, hold on here. well, don't you know it's easy to stay on the safe side of the street?
Where's the little disclosure? Disclosure. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, adjustable rates now. Interesting that Sue asked. Adjustable rate mortgages nationally now represent roughly 6.5% of all mortgage applications nationwide, which shows they're becoming more appealing to borrowers and I don't know, just appealing, I would say, somewhat out of necessity. Now, only a year ago, that 4.2% of mortgage applications nationwide were adjustable rate mortgages.
Okay, this is concerning.
It is concerning.
Okay, here's the concern on the other side on this side of the house.
The concern is that it feels like 2004.
Yeah, like we are manipulating the mortgage to meet the need versus here's what I need, here's what I have, here's what fits. Now, because that shoe no longer fits, the glass slipper that you wanted to fit on your foot, suddenly you grew a little bit. It doesn't fit.
Right.
Guess what? If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit.
So you force it?
They're forcing it.
Yeah.
They're forcing the foot in the shoe. There's concerns about that because that's what we saw. We saw the mortgage market manipulate loans to meet the client's need to a degree that was unhealthy. And are we going to see that now when we're seeing arms come into play so early on in the game?
And the market not only was manipulated by them, but also by the buyers as well.
Oh,
because many times, and I say manipulated, if you weren't able to qualify on paper for a fully documented loan, what did you do? Oftentimes, Might have been a stated
We
income.
called those liars loans.
Yeah, fast and easy.
Yeah.
Look where fast and easy got you.
Exactly. Back in the day when you had a pulse, you got a loan.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're not there right now.
The fog, the mirror, the test.
And I think, history repeats itself if we're not careful. And the concern that I have as an agent is that it lessens the value of home ownership if everybody gets one.
Right.
We don't live in a capitalistic environment yet. Is that what it's called?
Socialist?
Socialistic.
Yeah.
Sorry, socialistic.
Where everyone gets one.
Where everybody gets one. So here's the thing. Without basic requirements of income, assets,
Some
and
have
good
to
collateral.
get them and some have to not get them.
Right. What's the greatness about getting a house is that not everybody gets one.
Right.
You have to work and earn it. And so I think we're starting to see that, and that's concerning. Here's the thing. Instead of saying, hey, I only afford a $180,000 house, so now I'm looking in these neighborhoods and these neighborhoods, she's saying, do I manipulate it to make sure I get the house that I
still get what I
originally
want?
wanted?
Because that's what I'm accustomed to looking for.
Because darn it, this is a self-serving society, and we all want it now.
Right.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Not being responsible.
So what's your answer?
Well, here's the deal. There's inherent risks.
Sorry, Stu, that wasn't personal at all.
It's not directed towards you, Sue.
No.
There are inherent risks with adjustable rate mortgages.
Correct.
And over the last 5, 6, 7 years, the indexes that are tied to how these adjustable rate mortgages are priced and subsequently adjust have been rather stable, but that's going to change.
And here at the end of the day, when it comes to adjustable rate mortgages, they have a top off.
Yeah.
Can you afford the top off?
They have a cap.
If there's a 5% cap, can you afford the 5% cap?
Right. If you start off at 4.5.
Yeah, if you can afford the 5% cap and you look at that payment, can you swallow it? Because if you can swallow it, go forward.
Right.
That's how I look at it anymore in this market based on what we've seen in the past.
And remember, a lot of those adjustable rate mortgages that were written were subprime mortgages. And those subprime mortgages were fixed for 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. And the unfortunate thing is that when the investors that created those vehicles felt like, hey, they'll have an out at some point down the road, there was no out.
Right.
The out was not there because these properties eventually ended up underwater, or they adjusted to the point where the folks could no longer handle the payments. So our message to our consumers this morning is make sure that you don't overcompensate. Hey, if you were able to, and we did the numbers before, we used a $175,000 purchase example, and roughly your purchasing power dropped to $158, so roughly about 10% by that increase, and it was slightly over a percent.
And it sounds like hers did as well. 10%.
And her purchasing power did drop roughly about 10% as well. Don't overcompensate to the point where maybe you wanted a pool and you don't get a pool. Maybe you have to change your search criteria in terms of neighborhood by not giving up the school district that you want.
What is your out? What is the safeguard that keeps you okay if something tremendous in the market happens?
Right.
That's the question.
Yeah.
But I think that's the same thing investors would recommend to any investor out there is what's your out?
Yep.
Is this a long-term hold? Is this a short-term hold?
Right.
If it's a long-term hold, then you got to wait it out. And can you wait it out? Can you handle the peaks and the valleys?
Can you weather the storm?
Right.
Yep. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle and myself share with you on our show this morning, it all starts with one call, and that's a call from you. Give us a call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go, as we say, if you dare.
If you dare.
Listen to us with your smartphone on the iPeak Tuner app that you can download at your app store. Or you can listen to us online at KMJNow.com. You can also go to our website, check out our resources, listen to our past shows from the Real Estate Radio Network. You can also request information regarding Save Me From Foreclosure, solutions for eliminating my debt, short sale questions. How do I raise my credit score? What if I want some information regarding a reverse mortgage? Well, we refer you to our professional, local professional here with Reverse Mortgages for Seniors, Rick Ransom. To friend us on Facebook, use press 4 keywords. Friend Valley White on Facebook.
I'll get it one of these days.
Yeah, there you go. Or use press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley White.
To get connected to us anytime. We'd love to hear from you. Well, coming up, a report that singles make up a quarter of all buyers in the United States, and home construction spending is at its highest level since 2008. Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate on News Talk 580 and 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
When it comes to investing in wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thies & Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right at home at Thies & Duker. Visit us online at thiesandduker.com. THIESENDUEKER.com.
The consultants at Thies & Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Come join the fun and show your support for three-time defending Valley champion Coach Adrian Wiggins and the Clovis East boys basketball program at the 9th annual Crab Feed Dinner on Saturday, October 12th at 6 p.m. at the Fresno Betsuan Buddhist Temple's Family Dharma Center, located at 2720 East Alluvial Avenue. A dinner featuring crab, chicken, and tri-tip. A live and silent auction with dancing starting at 9 p.m. For more information, contact 797-5381. That's 797-5381. Or use press 4 keywords, Clovis East. How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097. And take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, a Realtor Magazine report shows that them singles are catching on us.
We sure are. You knew it was coming.
Oh, my gosh. I did. You know, more Americans are opting to live alone. I wonder why.
Hey.
With single buyers making up a quarter of all home purchases last year, according to the National Association of Realtors. In the U.S., there were, now this number seems pretty large. In the U.S., there are 33 million one-person households. And they're
Isn't that great?
They're not all over the, isn't that great? Oh, my gosh. Rick, I hope you're listening this morning because your girlfriend's flip-flopping on you.
Stop it.
Oh,
Don't get me in trouble.
Gosh. You know, 33 million, 1 million...
No, one person.
33 million.
Let me help you with your stats here, baby.
One-person households and living solo is becoming an international trend as well.
It's a local trend as well.
Yeah.
I mean, international, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, locally, a lot of single buyers out there. Love it.
I'm just wondering, so is this a direct result of, society today, the last 6-7 years. I was married up until 7 years ago.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
You hear that
I was married until 7 years ago.
Oh, there you go. Well,
yeah, honestly.
That pretty much sums it up.
There
Ronnie.
you go. I'm the example. No, but honestly, I think in this day and age, people are buying properties less with other people. They need their own space. They want their own personality, their own spin on it.
It says here in the article that purchasing a home is... it's a means of self-expression of the individual.
And now the Ricker knows that I love him dearly, but he's a biker.
Yeah.
Like he rides bikes like he'll go 30 miles in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So he needs the space for his bicycle, and
I'm not going that far.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hang out with Sheldon for the evening. Enjoy. Have a good day. We're just different people, different lifestyles. And I think singles, if you've been in a partnership or a couple at any point in time, it's your expression. Yeah. Buying that property is definitely a self-expression. I agree.
So great self-expression, but one of the potential hazards of, and granted, equity, that's owning a home, gaining equity. But one of the, that's what we all really want to do. I mean, that's what homeownership is. But one of the biggest obstacles is now going to be a single individual qualifying for a mortgage at what the median income is. What are they going to be able to qualify for?
It varies.
Yeah, it does vary. And are so many folks that are single going to be looking for condominiums? Well, okay, not the best investment.
Well, honestly, it's not that it's not the best investment. It can be a great investment, but that's what it is, an investment. So if you're looking to buy and live in them, guess what? Financing is hard to come by.
Yeah.
You just can't find financing the way you used to because so many are treated like apartments anymore.
Right.
And especially here in the Valley.
And then honestly. What are your HOA?
Exactly. On top of that. So you have to be careful. So I do think there's a whole different type of home out there. And let me tell you, our builders know it. They're building for these folks.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Lennar does that.
Wilson has some.
Wilson
Lennar
has it
some.
Also. They do that mother-in-law kind of setup where it's self-contained. It's where a third-car garage would be.
But you're seeing a lot of the two-story little townhouse-looking homes that they're building out at Harlan Ranch. Yeah. They're building them out on the west side. I mean, you're seeing them all over. Granville's got some. People, I mean, these builders know. They're studying the market, and there's a lot of single folks out there. For whatever reason, they may not be able to do it today, but the goal they have is to do it their own way, when they can do it, sink or swim.
Right.
Independence is the way to go.
Yeah.
So I really have a lot of friends who are really that thought process, their process. They don't have to depend on anybody else. It's all up to them.
So is that the millennials?
Perennials? I don't remember. It's definitely not the Xers. I don't remember
Gen X,
which
Gen
Gen
Y.
X. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, home construction spending's at its highest level since 2008. Okay, I read this article and said, okay, duh. Yeah.
You know what? It's so true, though, because we saw when the market slid down into Neverland.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, builders were cutting things out of houses left and right. Can we build a house without the countertops? How about without a toilet? Will you able to sell without a toilet?
A floor?
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen they've done some amazing things with dirt.
Yeah, seriously, they were cutting
from a design concept.
I mean, from the baseboards to the type of countertops to whether or not a ceiling fan was in the room.
Right.
Cut.
You had all these little red stickers all over that said
Take
option.
that out. Option. So now they're starting to throw some perky stuff in.
Yeah, private residential construction spending rose 0.6% to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of $334.58 billion, as reported by the Commerce Department this past week. Overall construction spending, which includes commercial and public projects.
Okay, can we stop right there?
Yes.
Because I find it really hysterical. The other day, driving around town.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? How many construction projects do we have?
Yeah.
Can I just say extra hour for every showing you want to do? Because
you got to plan it
is
into
doing
your
construction,
loop,
180 is doing construction, 168 is doing. I mean, there is construction everywhere, and I'm like, for a poor state, we're sure doing a lot of construction.
Yeah, we're sure oozing a lot of money and moving a lot of dirt.
Yeah, what's going on? Anyways, sorry, I'm surprised they actually include the.
There used to be 3 ways to get to our office. Now there's 1.
Yeah, 1, and you have to fly over the yellow.
It's a hop and a skip, and hopefully your 4-wheel drive's working.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that they actually include public works in the home construction numbers there.
Yeah, little separate figure there. Yeah. But hey, construction is on a rise. I live out in a Granville development out in southeast Fresno, out near Sunnyside, and I tell you what, the moment that they broke ground on the first. Granted, they were always going on, building at a fairly slow clip. But, man, I tell you what, all of a sudden one day it heated up. And, oh, my
Don't
gosh.
blink,
Yeah,
because
don't
4
blink.
houses will go up.
No, seriously, I think in that subdivision itself, they probably have maybe 15 or 20 more homes that they can build, and they're done.
Yeah, and that's quick.
Yeah, which means they got to start moving dirt somewhere else.
And they are.
Yeah.
Don't think they're not.
Yeah. Higher lot prices also may boost new home prices.
That's true.
There is a trickle down. How many subdivisions did you drive around Fresno in 2007 and see that? What was it, D.R. Horton or McMillan? What was the one that was out in Sunnyside? I drove in there and it looked like, what was the Charlton Heston movie from the 70s where it was the, oh my gosh. It was the one where there were all the zombies and they couldn't come out in the light. Omega Man.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
We're talking about zombies.
We're talking about zombies.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
it was a terrible attempt at zombies, but I remember as a kid being just fascinated with that movie.
Oh, I bet.
So I drive out to this subdivision out there off of Temperance, south of Kings Canyon, on the west side of the street. And it looked like Omega Man. He's driving around the streets, and there's like little pieces of paper blowing all over the place, and there's a big piece of wood across the the model that you walk into, the little showroom. It was shuttered.
Here's the thing: when you go around empty land, and suddenly it's empty and bare, and then the next day there's wire fencing around it, that's a sure sign of foreclosure.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. So and Sanger, tons of foreclosed lots in Sanger. It was crazy. But you're seeing all those come to fruition now, like Woodside. We spoke about Woodside last weekend and how they have a new community in Fowler. That was a foreclosed subdivision by an alternate builder that they picked up now through foreclosure. Yep. So in some of those cases, we're going to see some economical ability to price because they picked them up at a discount. But then right now, if you're buying bare land to make lots with, it's going to be a pricier
chances are you picked up that dirt years ago, either before the huge jump in prices or the huge crash,
or at the peak.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are some homes out that way where builder bought at peak, and let me tell you, pricing reflects.
Yeah, depending upon where your builder bought and when your builder bought, new homes could get more expensive in the coming months as a shortage of suitable lots drive up builder costs. Yeah, expected to hit your bottom. Expected to hit your bottom line soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle and myself share with you on our show this morning, it all starts with one call, and that's a call from you. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. We would love to hear from you. Take us with you wherever you go, and listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app that you can download from your app store, or listen to us online at KMJNow.com. You can also check out our resources. Go to our website. Search for your new home. It's a free service, Michelle. All you have to do is sign up and search for you. I'm glad you use it.
I do.
There you go. You can also friend us on Facebook by using Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valley White on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley White.
So call into the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. That's not just during the shows, during the show, after the show, during the week. Just call us anytime.
Beginning, the middle, the end?
Exactly.
All right.
After the break, higher income student loans debt holders skip home ownership.
Is that by choice?
Yeah. Top 5 reasons. Yeah, partly it is. Top 5 reasons if you don't have the income to pay for the, pay the freight. Yeah. Top 5 reasons why a buyer needs a realtor. We're also going to take a look at the top 5 reasons why a buyer stops using his realtor.
These sound like fighting words to me.
Yeah, it does. Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate. Here on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
When it comes to investing and wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thies & Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right at home at Thies & Duker. Visit us online at thiesandduker.com. THIESENDUEKER.com.
The consultants at Thies & Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Come join the fun and show your support for 3-time defending Valley champion Coach Adrian Wiggins and the Clovis East boys basketball program at the 9th annual Crab Feed Dinner on Saturday, October 12th at 6 p.m. at the Fresno Betsuin Buddhist Temple's Family Dharma Center, located at 2720 East Alluvial Avenue. A dinner featuring crab, chicken, and tri-tip. A live and silent auction with dancing starting at 9 p.m. For more information, contact 797-5381. That's 797-5381. Or use press 4 keywords, Clovis East. How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097. And take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, if you spent many years going to school, you know, higher education pays as long as your student debt doesn't.
I was going to say the ROI on that is uncertain at this point.
Yeah, the ROI is, you know what, that's a very good point. The ROI is extremely uncertain when you're looking at, hey, what if it cost you $60,000 to go to school?
I actually have a sister who has her master's. She's a teacher. And when she got it, I was actually running numbers thinking, does it make sense as a teacher even for those steps? Because they're an automatic step at certain situations with education. But, yeah, these kids who have student debt going out their ears.
Yeah, let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be the case in higher education, Johnny, that there is a little computer program that you say, okay, your chosen major is you want to be a liberal studies major. So that tells me you want to be a teacher.
Right.
So it gives you, let's say, the average median income for a first-year teacher in a couple different school districts.
$24,000
Okay,
or something
and
like that.
It lumps it all together. And then it says, so we're going to tell you, based upon your borrowing habits, whether it's grants or loans, as you're going through school, that at some point, all of a sudden, you get into the red. Not that you're not in the red, but it just makes it fiscally, you know, it doesn't.
The return is not there.
Pencil. Yeah, it doesn't pencil. Because, you know, how many times... If you want to be a doctor, nowadays, I'm going to use this word that I know you don't like. Our society is so litigious.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go again, yeah.
Litigious,
I love
you and your
using big
word
words.
of the day.
Equilibrium last
Hey, that's
week.
a duplicated word of the day.
Duplicated?
Duplicated.
But, hey, you know, our society's so happy At what point does it not pencil for you to be a doctor?
Well,
I mean, really, seriously, because you've got all this. I had to borrow. I was going to law school, and I borrowed $120,000 to go to law school. At what point does it not pencil for you to go to school?
And let me ask you a question on that one before we finish the answer.
I have a bachelor's and a master's, so I'm not against going to school.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Let me ask you, who provides student loans, Greg?
Oh, they need it to pay the interest on the federal debt, right?
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
What's the debt? Well, I mean, what's the interest on a student loan today? 6%. Something like 6% is what they're initiating student loans at.
Yeah.
Your house is 3%, 4% right this moment. Are you kidding me? I mean, it doesn't make dollars and cents.
It doesn't pencil.
It doesn't pencil. And here's the thing. There are more incentives out there to put people in school than there are to create jobs.
I think students...
Don't get me started on my soapbox.
We should call our local congressman and make
Anarchy.
students a protected class.
I think so.
I think so, too.
These protected classes are just going hog wild. We might as well get one out of it that we like.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Johnny, you want to go back to school? They're a protected class. There you go.
You know, we've got funds to loan to you forever and ever and ever. You'll pay till you die.
Yeah, more students nowadays are more debt conscious.
Conscious?
Well, okay, they're conscious.
I don't think
they're
so.
They're conscious of the debt, the student debt that they've borrowed over the years to get themselves through school. And they're really having to make a fiscal...
It's a life choice, is what you're saying.
It's a life choice because, I've got all this student debt. I've got to make sure that I don't get myself over-encumbered. This isn't just This is one of the biggest purchases
I think
of your
it's that
lifetime.
they can't eat if they live anywhere else. So they move in with mom forever.
And mom, I was going to say, and mom and dad stopped paying their bills, so...
Yeah. Remember, I'm a single person, gonna have a condo, gonna have a little...
Right.
There's no room for all my kids to move back. I'm just saying.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
well,
that's
what
scary.
are the top 5 reasons that you really need a realtor? Well, 61% of California home buyers used a realtor in 2013. I'm kind of surprised.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm appreciative.
I'm appreciative of being part of that 61%, but I'm also somewhat surprised that 39%, see my advanced math skills actually kicked in there, Johnny. That's a large, it seems like a large percentage of transactions.
Private sales, you mean?
Yeah, wonder
without the interaction of an agent,
or does this have anything to do with? Do they count foreclosure sales at the courthouse steps as part of this percentage? I'd really like to know. I'm not really sure exactly where they got these stats from.
I would be interested to know that, but I do know there are lots of reasons why transfers happen that don't involve agents.
There you go.
There's a lot of family situations, gifting, deaths, things of that nature, where family transactions, I would say, would make up a good portion of that 39%.
There you go. Well, home buying can be, you and I both know, it can be a complicated process. No. Every transaction so different.
Yes.
Well, here's a few areas where realtors helped buyers the most. 86% in price negotiations. Buyers in California felt that their realtor did a phenomenal job in helping to negotiate price. 71% negotiating the terms of the sale. What could the terms of the sale be? Well, what type of inspections? Does it come with a termite report and clearance?
The buyer or the seller?
Right. A roof certification. Roof reports. 61% determining comparable sales for the home. I'd like that number to be a little bit higher.
Me too.
Yeah, because obviously in an appreciating market, it's extremely important to make sure that you remain timely, and we're relying on...
Or a depreciating market, for that matter.
very good point,
either way, you want to make sure that you have current, accurate information of that neighborhood.
39% finding the right home. Now that seems kind of low. Yeah. So does that take into consideration that the buyer's perspective was that with technology nowadays, I actually found the home, so there's less realtors that are quote unquote responsible for finding?
I think it depends on the tools the realtor uses.
That's a good point.
I have a great friend in Santa Cruz who's an agent who uses very similar tools to the tools I use to feed my clients information based on the criteria they have selected. So I think in most regions, if you're not using those tools, then those other websites and driving for the looky-loos becomes, it removes you from the scenario in those situations.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, what are the top, and I found this extremely interesting because, so what are the top reasons that buyers stop using agents? And
You mean in the transaction, like they're starting to look, or now suddenly they go, I don't want to work with Michelle anymore, or I don't want to work with Craig anymore?
They're not in contract. Let's put it this way.
Yeah,
they choose to stop. You can't choose to stop mid-contract. Well, I guess you could, and you can go to court. But the number one reason why consumers switch agents, lack of follow-up.
I feel like I need to get my boxing gloves on right now.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm going to say lack of follow-up in regards to. I need more specifics.
Let me just say this: lack of follow-up. It is a very general statement.
It is,
but I'd have to say that you don't resemble this remark.
Because
lack of follow-up means you're
no, we've got a team in place where we don't see that, but I'd like to defend a lot of those agents out there. Generally, if it is because somebody didn't get what they expected.
Well, it's interesting you say that. So lack of follow-up was number one. Number two, setting the right expectations for the home buying about the home buying process. Because if you as an agent don't feel comfortable in your own skin and don't feel comfortable in your own market as well, and you don't do a good job of setting the right expectations for your buyers, guess what? It becomes a very unwieldy process. I heard this term, and I don't remember who coined it first, but it's like trying to get your arms around an 800-pound marshmallow. It's just really difficult.
I agree. So if they're not setting an expectation, you're never going to meet the expectation. Ever. Right. So setting the expectation and then meeting the expectation you've set are keys to any agent out there. Correct.
Right.
I agree.
Number three. Now, here's where I think that these all, again, tie together. Number three, the third highest reason why a buyer chooses not to work with a realtor. They can't get my offer accepted.
Education.
Thank you.
So that is, again, on the agent. Shame on you.
And setting the right expectation.
Exactly.
Because if you do a great job of setting the expectation while at the same time educating your client, I think that's huge.
Well, and I think we've talked multiple times this year just in complaints from consumers out there when they come to us and they say, Agent XYZ from, WTZ company says I should, bid $10,000 over.
Those are big companies.
They are. They're really large.
But large.
$10,000 over on every offer. Okay, every neighborhood's different. $10,000 on every offer does not make sense. You've got to look each individual house. Otherwise, why have an agent if you're just going to blanket make bids with X amount of dollars over or under? So the issue is going to be: are you comping those properties? Are you educating clients? Clients want to understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Informed consent is part of that, because if you're doing a great job of educating and setting the right expectations for your buyers, that when it comes to that point where you say, hey, here's the comparables for this property, tell me what you think.
Right.
And they're spouting out exactly what you would expect them to say based upon the education that you've taken them through.
Correct.
As far as the process is concerned. Man, there's nothing better. There's no better feeling because you feel like they're thinking reasonably. Yes, this is an emotional decision. And yes, this is something that at some point they could call a home. And a home is where you make memories.
Right. But you make your home where you are based on you and the things you bring to it. So, that's one of the things I would say to my clients often.
Number 4. Buyers just stopped. Now, so the number 4 reason why a buyer stopped utilizing their agent, why they decided to stop using their agent. They decided to stop buying.
I would say that's accurate. Life changes.
Hey, Bob, well, we decided to stop. We're not going to buy anymore. Yeah, that's it. We're not going to buy anymore. To me, it sounds like an excuse.
Stop and hold? Well, no, I think there are personal situations.
We're just afraid to say. We're afraid to say, Johnny,
that we don't like you anymore?
I just don't. I'm not feeling this. I
don't
think
feel
it's
the
time.
love?
I think it's time to go our separate ways.
Hey. Wow.
Yeah, no. We just broke up with our agent.
Clients fire agents, and agents can fire clients.
Yes, they do. Yeah, that is true.
Both ways.
It does go both ways.
And I'll be honest in saying I've had both happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Well,
but what learning you go through when you have a situation.
It's a valuable opportunity to learn. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, when you get into this industry, it is such a whirlwind. There's so much information to learn. You can't know it all. You don't know what you don't know. And so until you experience something like that, you just don't know.
It's an at-bat. I always call it at-bats. It's an opportunity, and I'm not a big baseball fan. Go Dodgers. It's always it's always an opportunity to take a swing. The more cuts you get, using a baseball analogy, the better you get at. Regardless of whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's an opportunity. Too many people in life flee from the opportunities to stretch whatever it is, their morals, their integrity. They miss that opportunity, and that's unfortunate.
But agents, like any other profession, you learn something new every day.
Very true.
And if you don't, shame on you.
Well, if you don't, it means you're not out there working, man.
Amen.
You're not out there swinging. So let's see here. We're going to take some listener questions. Marie from Fresno asked, I am a teacher, and I would like to use, I've heard great things about this 50% off, this Good Neighbor Next Door program. And I'd like to purchase a HUD home utilizing the Good Neighbor Next Door program. Can I?
Sure. I'm going to say, hot dog, let's do it.
Do it.
There's 3 available currently in California, max.
The entire state of California.
Yes.
So let's talk real quick. What is a Good Neighbor Next Door program? Okay. For years, I thought it was talking about Mr. Kennerly next door that lived, seriously, I thought he was the good neighbor.
He brought you a basket at Christmas or what?
No, he was super, super nice. He let me wash his car, paid me for it, let me mow his lawn, paid me for it. I thought he was the good neighbor. Come to find out, there's this
He was your boss.
Yeah, well, he was. Yeah, little did I know that was indentured servitude. I was kind of the slave of the neighborhood. I did all the gray hairs' cars and all their lawns, and Mom and Dad farmed me out.
Nice.
They said they put it in my savings account, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, the Good Neighbor Next Door program is a program that can be utilized for police, for firefighters, for teachers, as an example, public safety, basically. Mm-hmm. And it is a program that can be utilized with HUD homes. So it's a property. A HUD home is a home that is owned by the Department of Housing and Urban Development and is geographically located within what's called a neighborhood stabilization area or a target area.
So really what you're saying is these are homes that typically lie within the ghetto.
Wow. All right, rip that Band-Aid off, Michelle. All right, so how do you really feel?
I'm just going to say...
It's not the better part of towns.
There you go.
Like you see it in Inglewood or Compton.
I say that, Johnny, but I can say that because we don't have any homes here.
We haven't seen...
in our
I
county.
Haven't seen,
there are none of those in our county. So I think that's really... we should get an award for not having any good neighbor homes in our county. That was my point, Johnny. Didn't mean to offend. But really, truly.
That was mighty country club of you.
And I'm so not country club. Get out of here.
Here's the great thing. So folks that are wanting more information about a Good Neighbor Next Door program, what it does is it gives you the ability to be able to purchase this property in this target area, and you purchase it for 50 cents on the dollar.
And the point of it is to build those neighborhoods up
and
with strong
stabilize those
fires.
Exactly.
Correct.
Because little did you know, but you're the good neighbor. You thought you were using the Good Neighbor program, but you're the good neighbor.
You're the good neighbor. They're moving in.
That's moving in. And your
Vacation Bible school and all these things they have. No, I'm teasing. They don't have those expectations.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Too funny.
That went a little far.
I'm sorry.
It? So at 50 cents on the dollar, as long as you stay there for 3 years, there's a deed of trust that's recorded against the property. And as long as you stay there for 3 years, that
I want to make a joke.
Deed of trust. Maybe you should.
I want to ask if you get a bulletproof vest for the 3-year service.
Oh, my gosh.
Even our military serve. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I hope I don't get fired for you because of you.
I'm sorry.
As a result of you.
I'm sorry. I can't.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to behave.
There's something to be said for education versus, what is it? Entertainment. Shock value.
I'm only here for education.
Yeah, you can only get me in trouble for 1 hour each and every. Actually, It's more than that. 1 hour with the masses. All right, Billy from Clovis asks, my agent tells me that we should. So Billy is listing her home, and my agent tells me, duct tape, Michelle. It's easier to keep the mouth shut. That my agent tells me that we should accept either conventional or cash offers. So Billy's listed her property for sale. Her agent comes to her and says, you should only accept cash or conventional. That's it.
And
no
me
FHA,
being Billy, I'm going,
VA.
huh? Why?
Yeah, exactly. Well, 6 of the 8 offers that Billy was presented with are FHA. And Billy says, I'm a little confused. And some of these offers are higher than asking. So why is it that I should turn away 75% of all the offers that I'm getting on my home, and some in excess of asking that, I'm going to make more money? Why? Why should I?
Don't. Without information or without education, don't.
Okay.
And I say that respectfully as an agent who's out there placing conventional cash and FHA offers on properties. I see all 3. If your agent does not believe that your property meets FHA standards as far as there are deficiencies that are costly or whatever on the property, you should understand that before going in. If your agent is concerned that the value will not come in when it's appraised to meet an FHA appraisal, you should know that.
Well, and let me address that real quick. I think it's a good point. Value versus condition, two totally separate instances or potential issues.
Yeah, and I bring them up because on my side, those are the two most blaring reasons why FHA would be not chosen,
right,
shall we say.
So you said that. Say that again?
Yeah, those would be the two blaring reasons as an agent that I would see that an FHA would not be chosen.
Gotcha.
Is if there's deficiencies on the property and an agent is unclear about how FHA might get those through, or if they are concerned about the true value of the property that they have listed meeting FHA standards.
Gotcha. I'm going to say that cash is the only thing that's going to give you a free pass.
Right.
From here to close. Mm-hmm. Conventional FHA, USDA, VA financing, any of even private money financing, there's going to be requirements in terms of the collateral. It doesn't give you a free pass to close. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say this as well. I've seen conventional appraisals where, in this particular instance, Billy, I would say, Billy, be very, very careful, because I've seen many instances where FHA appraisals, conventional appraisals have come in and they are even stricter in terms of their guidelines. So, because it is so subjective. Mm-hmm. It's subjective based upon the appraisal management company that the appraiser works for. It's subjective based upon the lender, their guidelines, and how the appraiser appraises to meet those guidelines, because they know what that appraisal management company wants to see in the quality of that appraisal and how it scrutinizes the collateral. So, beware. I wouldn't say just get rid of 75% of your offers and say, now I've got to play ball with the other two.
Yeah, I'd want to understand why I'm getting rid of any of them.
Exactly. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle and myself share with you on our show this morning, or any morning for that matter, or if you have a question about something that's going on in your life, give us a call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go and listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app, or go online and listen to us at KMJNow.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valley Wide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley Wide.
To call into the show, after the show, just to call us, please, anytime. A big thank you to my special guest host, Michelle Lynn Pettis. Thanks so much for joining me in the studio this morning, and glad you could sleep in. Glad you came.
Thanks for having me.
Big thank you to Johnny B behind the mics. Johnny, you always do such a phenomenal job, and we love having you here Sunday mornings, buddy. Our goal at the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market, so we can help bring you
back home.
Don't forget to tune into the Real Estate Radio Network next Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 the FM KMJ. Local news, local talk. Make it a great day, California, and we will see you next week.
The preceding is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network.